So Drew Brees ended up retiring today, and I don't think anybody was really surprised. But I think everyone was a little bit surprised that it took this long. However, it makes sense because he wanted to wait till the 15th, which was yesterday, to announce the retirement because it marks the 15-year anniversary um, from when he signed with the New Orleans Saints from the Chargers. Yeah, but overall, it's kind of sad to see him retire, but it is what it is. I'm gonna break down just overall my impressions of his career. Where does he rank? Just an overview of that, and where I think the Saints are headed forward as an organization in the future. But like I was saying, my first impressions, I'm really sad that just not necessarily that he retired, just because of a lack of what he did in his career, comparative with his stats. He only went to one Super Bowl, but he has all the stats. He leads the NFL in passing yards all time. Most seasons with 5,000 yards. Most seasons with 4,000 yards. The dude is like a stat machine. He's super accurate. He's a great leader. He's extremely gifted in that regard, and he was talented. But it is disappointing to see just all the losses that they've had in the playoffs recently, like the Rams, Minneapolis Miracle. They lost to the Vikings again. Then they lost to the Bucks, which I was surprised because they dominated them in their division. It just seems like with all the greatness that he did individually, and the Saints have been a good team. They really have. They've won a lot, but they could just never get over the hump. And it's just kind of sad to see that. I really wish. I'm not a Saints fan, obviously. I'm a Seahawks fan. But I really wish that they could at least went to the Super Bowl, just one last time. They were flexible with the cap. They tried to make it work, and it just didn't. It just simply didn't. And they've been trying to make it work for a few years now. So it's just really sad to see. I wish he would have accomplished more in the regards of winning it all, because Tom Brady, he's been to 10 Super Bowls. And I can't even number the championships he's been to. So I wish that Drew Brees, he could have won a little bit more playoff games, I guess. I don't really know if that's on him or if that's a collective thing, but pass interference against the Rams, Minneapolis Miracle. Those are just tough losses, and I'm just disappointed to see he couldn't pull away with more Super Bowls. But statistically, he ranks among the best, but I'm really reluctant because I know Drew Brees is great. Like I said, he's accurate. Until the last couple of years, he's been extremely healthy, reliable, great leader. But, I really think when you look at overall talent, I really don't think he ranks top 10 for me, because when you have guys like a Mahomes, when you have guys like a Rodgers and a Wilson and a Dan Marino and a Brett Favre, and there's probably a whole bunch of names I'm forgetting, those guys are just immensely gifted, and they were able to win championships with that gift and put up the stats. But, when you look at Drew Brees, especially over the last few years, he's never really had the arm ability. But, he just can't really push the ball down the field. And I will be fair, they don't have a lot of deep threats, but still, I feel like even if they had a deep threat, that aspect of the game is just really not his strong suit, which is okay because he's had success. But I think that is also a possibility for what couldn't get them over the hump. Every time I watch the Saints game, it seems like they're just dumping it in the flat to Kamara or checking it down to Michael Thomas. So, especially over the last few years, that was really a detriment to his game. He wasn't able to push the ball down the field, which was, it just wasn't a great thing. But I still think he's a good quarterback. He's definitely Hall of Famer. He has the stats. He did win a Super Bowl. He is one of the game's great. He's a winner too. But I wouldn't rank him top 10. I really don't know where I would have him. But, just for everything he's done to the game and to the city of New Orleans, because he went there. They were a horrible team. They were called the Aints, actually. And, the Hurricane Katrina, that really that was tough to help rebuild the city. Everything that he means there, it means a lot. So And then especially because he was only 6 feet tall, he really led the way for people like Russell Wilson, and then Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Tua Tagovailoa. He led the way for those guys to be able to go into the NFL and have some success and be drafted higher. I really don't think Russell Wilson would have made it in this league, or maybe he probably wouldn't have even been drafted as high as he did if there was no Drew Brees, because Drew Brees is only 6 foot. So I think that really helped out Wilson and eventually helps out the other quarterbacks, because even though size is important, it's just a number at the end of the day. You can still have success with being short. But yeah, it was sad to see, disappointing. I still think he's an all-time great, but I don't think that he ranks with the other top tier elite guys. And the Saints going forward, they had to make a lot of cap moves, cut a lot of decent players, had to restructure a lot of contracts. They've been doing this last 5 years, honestly, just pushing things back, just manipulating the cap, and now it's really affecting them. They had to let go of some good players, but I still think that they could be a good team next year. I think what they should do is they should give Jameis a chance. A lot of people like Taysom Hill. I saw him last year. He did okay. He's a good element. He can back up quarterback. He can play tight end, block. Run routes, special teams. But I really don't think he's a long-term answer at quarterback. But Jameis, he's immensely talented. First overall pick. Yes, he did have 30 interceptions 2 years ago, but he has the arm. He was in Sean Payton's system for a year already. He learned behind Drew Brees, and I really think if you give him a chance, and if you get him at least one decent weapon, maybe it's a low end guy in free agency, someone that can take the top off the defense, maybe through the draft. The pair with Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. I still think they could be a really good team. They've gotten worse, but I wouldn't count them out as not going to the playoffs next year. I still think they could be better than the Falcons. So they can be definitely competitive. I think they need another weapon at receiver, but I still think they're solid enough on defense. They got a good O-line. They still have a lot of core pieces. So I think going forward, you give it to Jameis. You can have Jameis and Taysom Hill compete, but I would give the job to Jameis. See what you can do. And, I'm not going to bet against Sean Payton. He's a great coordinator. He's underrated, really, with the McVays and the Shanahans and maybe even the Matt LaFleur's and Andy Reid. But he's a really great coordinator. He's made it work for all this time. And, I think they're going to still continue to find a way to win football games. But, yeah, that's all I got. I think, it was a good day yesterday. It was good to see him leave. Honestly, I didn't really want to see him come back for another year because, just not being able to push the football down the field. It was really kind of hard to watch because they had such great potential. But I felt like he was holding the team back a little bit, especially the last couple years. But I'm kind of excited to see what the Saints are going to do moving forward. I have a pretty good idea, but I really think they're going to surprise a lot of people and have some great success. But yeah, Drew Brees, he's done a lot for this game and appreciated watching him. But I'm just glad that a new time has come. So we're gonna see how that turns up. But thank you for listening. If you're watching, like, subscribe, comment with any recommendations or suggestions. And I'll be back with another video.